Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. My name is Zach, otherwise known as Poppy Syntax, and today I thought it would be a great idea to do a little bit of a retro react on Miss Amberlynn Reid and what I ate today unhealthy. So this is from like 2 or 3 years ago, and I just wanted to kind of look at it. I have unfortunately received some worrisome news, I guess. And so I thought I'd distract myself by having a look at what Amberlynn Reid eats in a day unhealthy. So let's get into the video. And here we go.
Hey guys!
Hi Amber. She is back.
Okay, so we have like a camera woman in the back scene here. So if it's like weird looking,
Back scene?
it ain't my fault.
It's gotta move a little bit. I can't be completely still.
So this has been requested. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate in this video, but I get a lot of hate in all my videos, so it's kind of just something I'm used to, I guess. So what I'm gonna do in this video is
I mean, like, hearing it out loud's kind of sad. But I think a lot of the hate that she gets, and she definitely gets hate, not taking away from that at all. I think a lot of the commentary that she receives, or critique that she receives, that isn't hate, kind of gets lumped into the hate category if she doesn't agree with it or doesn't perceive it as positive, I guess.
show you guys what I eat in a day where I'm not like tracking calories or being healthy. A lot of people in the comments ask, how does this girl become so big? Like, what does she eat? I can understand that if I was smaller,
I mean, even as a bigger person, I can question how you would continue to get that big, particularly because she is on display and she's showing herself literally every day. So the cognitive dissonance between her reality and her YouTube is quite stark. So yes, the question of how does someone get this big is one that, you know, she would be a great example of teaching. From my understanding, it's calories in versus calories out and the quality of those calories.
Curious too, like, what do bigger people eat? So if this is for educational purposes or to hate on me, let's just do this thing.
Here to hate.
Sometimes I eat more in a day, sometimes I eat less in a day, but I just figured today is a Sunday. I'm not sure when you guys are seeing this, but tomorrow is a Monday.
Multiple years.
Good day to start, you know, clean and fresh. So
ooh,
yeah,
okay, so that's something to talk about. The kind of the delay, right? So if you have a day where you started off well and then you kind of hit a hazard, you know, during lunch or during the afternoon, you think, oh, I'd really like this one thing, and then you eat 10 of these one things, and you can often consider your day ruined, and you'll say, well, it doesn't matter what I eat from here on out, I'll just start again tomorrow. Or, you know, it doesn't matter what I eat this weekend because I've already written myself off, I'll start again on Monday. It can be a really hard thing to work yourself out of that mentality, because I've certainly been there. You know, you can continuously say, I will have the best of intentions in the future, but the willpower it takes when you get to, you know, the moment, the present, to put the fork down and reevaluate, it can be hard. Like, some people just don't have the willpower to be able to, you know, make such big and drastic changes. You just need to either find help or find what works for you, in my opinion.
eat food. I'm actually going to be making chili here in a bit. The kitchen is currently being used, so I'm going to wait until Eric and Ricky are done cooking their food, and then I'm going to make some chili.
Great.
Chili time.
Chili time.
Unfortunately, okay, where did I put that hamburger?
Much a lot.
Oh,
Chili time.
I usually do ground turkey,
Ooh,
but
okay.
they didn't.
Down under, we don't serve our mince in a tube, and if we do, it would be a very specialized circumstance. Commonality, our grocery stores, our supermarkets do not often have meat in a tube, and if they do, it's the pet food section. So this is foreign to me.
Have any at the store. Literally,
and it's beef as well.
Out. It was the weirdest thing. Like, there was no ground turkey, no anything.
Yeah, no, that's like, that style of packaging is reserved for pet food or like super processed like deli meats that come in like larger portions and that you can slice yourself. Devon is the word we call.
So we just got some ground beef. I'm gonna use 2 of these. I feel like the chili is gonna be like an all day thing. Like we haven't had breakfast. Like I haven't eaten anything, and it's 3 o'clock. So
also, can we talk about how high a fat percentage, like beef is in general? Because yes, it's delicious. I try to remove as much red meat from my diet as possible because of multiple reasons. But I can't imagine those are like lean mince variations. Also, the whole, I feel like an internet sleuth looking at the back of that shelf. That's a whole lot of Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi and what I will assume is Pepsi Max. I'm a big fan of Pepsi Max, have been since childhood, and have always drunk diet soda or diet soft drink, to use our correct terminology. I've always, like, full sugar has never really been a thing in my family household. I did experiment with it when I was getting bigger because I was like, I don't care. And then I started caring. So now we have a soda stream, which is great. We're trying to reduce as much plastic as possible in the house. And yeah, and it's lots of Diet Cola. And at the moment, this is a diet energy drink.
I'm gonna make this.
Delicious.
And what I'm going to add in it. So what I'm going to put in it is
also, I know a lot of people don't talk about this. I really like the house. I think that it's quite, like, it's older and it's still really well kept. It's quite homey. Like, it feels like home. I feel like that's got a lot. This is their old house, by the way. I feel like that's got a lot to do with the Eric and Ricky influence, because I think that they have a sense of I don't know, just coziness about everything, which is great. I kind of miss that. Amber's new place is a lot more like Instagram aesthetic, which is fine. I'm sure that's what she wants, apart from Becky's room, which is full 90s trip, which is great. But yeah, I really like this. I kind of miss this house, and I kind of miss the sneak peeks we used to get of Eric and Ricky. Man, I wonder what they're up to. Maybe I should check out Eric's YouTube channel.
Diced tomatoes, 2 things of dark red kidney beans,
Love a
a thing
legume.
of black beans, 2 things of mushrooms. I prefer fresh mushrooms.
Okay. I also prefer fresh mushrooms, and I'll be interested to hear why she can't get fresh mushrooms.
But Becky likes the mushrooms that are in cans.
Okay, I'll argue that no one should prefer canned mushrooms ever in general, unless you're eating them straight out of the can, in which case, versus straight raw, I could kind of understand a difference in texture and taste, sure. But you're cooking this into a chili or whatever, so you're cooking the mushrooms already, so you don't really have to worry about that textural issue, and the taste will just be so much better. Fresh mushrooms are bomb. I have always loved them. I have particularly loved them while dieting because they're very, very low in calorie, just fungi in general, very, very low in calorie, high fiber, quite filling, deliciously tasty, and absorb anything you throw at them. So anyone out there who wants a relatively quick and mess-free 1-pan breakfast, I'll often get 2 large flat mushroom caps, pop some olive oil in the pan, get it hot, throw the mushroom stem side down to sear, and then reverse it to round side down, and then crack 2 eggs into the actual stem side. So remove the stem, crack 2 eggs, pop the top on your fry pan, leave it for a couple of minutes for the eggs to bake through. Delicious mushroom eggy breakfast. Super easy to go. You can literally pick them up and eat them. It's a bit messy, but you can put them on a plate like a civilized person. You can add cheese into the mix. You can add spices however you want. You can, whisk the eggs before you crack them in to make them a little bit more like a scramble style instead of a baked egg style. Yeah, mushrooms are delicious.
Oh, that's fine with me. Some tomato juice, some chili seasoning, some chicken broth, and
It's great value.
I know I make chili a lot. That's something I get told a lot, but that's just how it is. So over here is the seasoning rack that we all share. And then these are my seasonings.
Seasoning rack is an entire pantry.
have,
Like
a bunch of
my pantry is half of that size. I have a half-size fridge, a half-size pantry, and no freezer. Admittedly, she has 4 people in her household. I only have 2.
Ashes and
So
stuff.
why are these are these like the common used items? Maybe. I mean, the Ninja's there. What looks like the wipes are there. Mrs. Dash, I don't understand either. From what I gather, it's just seasoning with no salt, which is it's just seasoning, which is fine. I know I'm speaking to past Amber, but I think in this situation it would have just been better instead of purchasing pre-made spices. She has nothing but thyme. Thyme is a herb. She has nothing but thyme, so she could investigate individual spices or flavors and kind of incorporate those into her cooking, or like, you know, buy a planter box and grow a herb garden. God, could you imagine that content? How good that would be?
I'm probably going to use onion and herb, the table blend, original blend.
Yeah, I mean, there's a video where she
herb.
reads the back of the ingredients to these, and it's just a blend of herbs, and she could literally do that by just combining those herbs and spices. Or experiment with new ones. Or different ratios.
Duh.
Whatever. But she doesn't. That's okay.
I'm also going to use some Himalayan pink salt.
Yep.
Probably.
Sound off in the comments. What are our opinions on Himalayan pink salt? I don't necessarily, like, I understand there was a big fad about it, and then it kind of died down, and it was like, well, we've already built all of these businesses and industries based on gathering this pink salt, so we're still going to have to sell it somehow. I don't see a lot of difference between like flaked sea salt and pink Himalayan salt in terms of taste. Like, it just tastes like salt to me. I'm slightly uncultured, I guess. Yeah, I kind of use them as interspersible. I don't know.
Garlic powder. Over here in the fridge.
Garlic powder, onion
We
powder.
have some minced garlic.
Minced garlic.
We are a
Tap
garlic
tea.
family, folks. Like, for real. Cumin. Where's Cayenne at? Where are you, Cayenne?
Ooh, cayenne is just too much for me. I try to like it, but even a
Cayenne
pinch,
And then
I can.
that is everything.
My palate is
That's
not
gonna be
used to
going in
it,
the
and it
chili.
just hits me.
So I'm gonna start cooking that. If it was my choice, there would be onion. Okay, you guys.
Oh,
so the
'cause
chili
she's
is
cooking
done.
for
This is what it
Becky.
looks like. I have it in a really cute cap cup.
Why would you not include prep and cook stage here? What happens to all of us out here who would like to cook your... I don't want to cook this. I know what it's going to taste like, but, you know, I know other people are interested. Yeah, I would really love to see the actual process of how you do this. So whether or not you, like, cook the... Is it pasta? I think she had pasta in this. Or something. You know, what you cook separate versus what you cook together. We don't have a lot of chili cooking down here, but I'd still be interested, especially that tube of meat. So strange.
You can see. And
No,
I'm
it's
going
mushroom,
to be
sorry,
adding
it's not
some Colby and Monterey Jack cheese. And I just figured I would show you guys, whoops, how much.
Said it before and I'll say it again. Cheese is the devil, tempting, delicious, mildly seductive, but ultimately I overeat on cheese. I can sit down and eat like 500 grams of just cheese. There's been awful days where I've just been like, there's a 300 gram like block of Parmesan in the fridge and I'm just going to sit down and carve into it, even though it's not necessarily enjoyable by itself, but it is fat and salt and my body just really likes that.
I will be using, because I have fun. See ya.
Bye, Eric.
Because that is the point of this video. So
that's at least a serve.
that's about how much I will be using of that.
I'd say that's 2 serves.
And for
Maybe.
something to drink.
Normally, a serve of shredded cheese is like 20 to 25 grams, if I'm correct. Try not to eat a lot of cheese, particularly like pre-shredded stuff. But yeah.
I will be having a diet. I just hit myself in the face with it.
Yeah.
Diet.
Oh, okay.
Diet. I will be having a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
No
I
sugar,
like the painting in the
calories.
background of the
I mean,
birds.
let's
It's not
try
even
it.
about homey. It's just homey.
I do prefer ground turkey, so that is an issue, but we'll be okay. We'll be okay with this hamburger. That is some actual.
Why is it called hamburger? I understand why it's called hamburger in reference to a hamburger, but it's beef mince. That's got to be an American thing, right? Like it's like we don't call it hamburger mince because you can make a hamburger. But because it's my understanding of a hamburger, ham coming from the term pork, right? So whether or not it's a beef and pork mix, which I think a lot of like the cultural term comes from. Yeah, it's weird. That's something to investigate.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's a lot of cheese.
Okay.
Not a lot of cheese, but it is a substantial amount of cheese.
Cool. Ooh, it's so hot I can barely chew on it. I just swallowed it. It's amazing though. I need to let this cool off.
Yeah.
So good. So
Okay.
I'm actually gonna have some of these cheddar and sour cream chips. I'm probably just gonna
Ruffles are not a big thing down here, so
eat the rest of them. How much is in there?
sour cream and chive.
That much.
Love it.
And then I'm gonna have some of these mint chocolate cookies.
Pepperidge Farm
I'll show you guys
Not
what
big
they
down
look
here.
like.
Cookies we do enjoy, and I bake them.
I'll probably have
And that just looks
3
kind
or
of sad,
4 of these.
to be honest.
Actually, I ended up having 7 of these. That's
130 calories per serve. I'm assuming a serve is 1 per biscuit. Does that say? Per 2 biscuit, 2 something. Yeah, I think it's 2. Okay, so if you've had 7, that's a whole bunch of calories.
To say it out loud, as I was eating them, it didn't even feel like 7 of them, so
Red flags.
now I have no more. Okay, you guys, so it's been hours later, and I want some more chili, so I have that warming up.
So strange. Like, I would just microwave this. I understand there's a whole big arguments about stovetop versus microwave regarding cooking, but reheating, like, it should be fine to just pop it in a bowl and pop it in the microwave, right? It's just you're just reheating it for
Look
yourself.
how good that looks.
It doesn't need to be cooked again.
So as good as it is with cheese, it actually doesn't need it. So
No.
I'm not gonna be putting cheese on it on this bowl. This bowl is pretty hefty,
Yeah,
as you
it
guys
looks-
can tell, compared to my hand.
Wait.
I mean, my hand is also pretty small, but yeah. So I finished my chili.
Oh,
but
what's
I
she
forgot to tell you
playing? There's a whole heap of Just Dance back there. And some Mario and classic Nintendo games and Mortal Kombat for PS4. Okay, work. Sprite Zero, I have 0 opinion.
guys, I'm also having a Sprite Zero. So I got some creamy milk chocolate. It's a symphony bar and it's freaking huge. And I got a
Call out America here and say that your chocolate is not as good as ours. I don't know what it is. I think that like I've had chocolate from American brands and designed for American markets before, and something about it just doesn't seem right. I don't know, like I'm sure I've read into this before, but I think it's the like it's got a higher ratio of sugars and cocoa fats or cocoa butter compared to actual chocolate cocoa, and it just tastes bizarre. Like it tends to be quite waxy, and it just doesn't taste good, I guess. I mean, even here in Australia we have the famous brand Cadbury's, which I understand is everywhere, but it is kind of like the most well known, and Whittaker's. But yeah, I would take chocolate designed for Australian markets any day, apart from some variants of Cadbury can be super, super sweet, which obviously they're bumping up that sugar to just keep going up. And Haribo is great. We love it. I've not tried these peaches, but I'm a big fan of the bears.
bag of
Mist candy.
peaches. It's like a gummy candy. I did not finish these. I ate half of the symphony bar. God, I hate voiceovers.
So the Symphony Bar is 190 calories per serve, and I'm assuming a serve is 1 line of the block. So if you ate half of it, benefit of the doubt, say 5 lines, maybe 6. It's a bunch of calories.
And I ate about half of the peaches. So Eric also had a little bit of that, so I do have more of that. Later on, I got hungry for something salty, so I had a chili flavor ramen noodle, which this is like one of my favorites. It's super good, totally unhealthy. I crunched mine
Of course
up.
it is. It's like those ramen packets go between 350 and 550 calories a serve, generally. Filled with sodium, filled with MSG. I'm not here to argue pros or cons of MSG, don't worry. And ultimately not that fulfilling. Fulfilling in the sense that, yes, you've got something warm and fatty and salty on your palate, which makes you feel a certain way, but like you can... I'm not saying that you need to be orthorexic in this instance, but you could take, for instance, a handful of broccoli and, you know, steam that and then throw some cottage cheese or even just cheese or olive oil or something with a bit of fat, and then sprinkle it with salt and go from there. I'm not saying that you need to do that. I'm just saying that that's an option to a potential solution to the question of, I want something salty, go.
And I do cook mine in the stove. I know a lot of people cook it in the microwave. I've been liking my soups and chilies in mugs. I know that might be weird, but here is the completed dish. It was really soothing.
It's not a dish. It's a convenience packet of noodles. And yeah, I mean, again, back on convenience, putting it in a mug is a choice to say, I want to be able to like consume this as easily as possible. And I've said before, if you do kind of treat the food with a bit of respect and with a bit of, I will take my time with this, you know, it can last longer and it can help stifle any cravings. And that's just my opinion.
This cold, snowy night. It was super good.
Snowy. Show me
ramen
outside.
never fills me up, so it's something I definitely need to stop eating because it's just a waste. So,
fun fact, I'd not seen snow until 2016 when I first saw it outside of our hotel in Berlin, and it was magical. I can't wait to travel.
Thing that I have drank today that I forgot to tell you guys about is a Diet Pepsi. I drink about 3 diet sodas a day. I really want to focus on drinking more water. I don't think that's an issue with some diet freaking soda.
The biggest problem.
I just don't. I know there's controversy. Becky's arm, Twinkie's face.
Mm-hmm.
But I know there's like controversy, like,
oh my god, Twinkie's adorable in this shot.
Like, and then there's some people's like, no, regular soda's worse. And like people are so back and forth. In my opinion, when I lost 89 pounds, I don't mean to bring this up because I know it's in the past, but I drink diet soda on the daily. I actually drank like 6 a day, and there were always different flavors and kinds, and it never made me gain weight. It actually helped me curb. I don't know which word it is. Curb the cravings that I was having for like soda.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. I would tend to agree that. So interesting now. I'm going, like, looking back at my past diet history and just seeing what's available at the moment. That helps a lot. So things like stevia and natural sweeteners, that are essentially 0 calorie, are a huge game changer because, you know, there's all these conversations about chemicals and aspartame and which are all valid. Like, show me the science and absolutely I'll be guided by it. But stevia is kind of like the big example, certainly help because they are literally designed or affected to give you sensation of ultimately sweetness, which previously refined sugars were kind of like the go-to, just in terms of taste. I'm not talking about body chemistry. So yeah, I think in the current environment with access to the internet and a lot of specific products that are aimed at weight loss, and I'm not talking about like diet culture pills and all of that. I'm talking about like actual just diet. I think it's more and more easy now than it's ever been in the past. I mean, I remember trying to lose weight when I was a teenager, and like just learning what calories were or how much was in what was, monumental. And I think that's why back then, because if I'm like 70, it was quite hard, and why it was so restrictive to say, well, no, you just can't have any of that, or no, you just can't have any of that, and the rise of Weight Watchers and Atkins and things. So anyway, that was a tangent.
I really like diet soda, so anyways, I'm going on a spiel about that. So that was everything I ate today.
Twinkies adorable. God, I
this
love
video
it.
was very eye-opening. It's something I was actually even talking to Becky about, because like earlier today when I had those 7 cookies, I told Becky, I was like, normally I wouldn't count. I would just sit there and eat them and I wouldn't care.
Mm-hmm.
But after I like realized that I had 7, I was just like, wow. And then going through this and editing, I forgot that I had 2 bowls of chili. It's just things like that where,
how do you
like,
forget?
whether you're boredom eating or, you're just going about your day, sometimes you forget the things that you eat. And I just thought that was very eye-opening.
No,
and
I don't.
honestly, I ate a lot of food today.
I don't have a great memory, but I can certainly look back and say, like, oh, I had this meal yesterday. I probably couldn't tell you how many, like, grams of spinach I had in my lunchtime salad, but I know I had a lunchtime salad. Ugh, it's just, it reads kind of as an excuse. And I mean, when she first started her journey, it was all about kind of journaling and holding herself accountable, and videos like this can definitely do that. If she all of a sudden turned around and decided, I'm going to do a what I eat in a day every single day, even, and I've said it before, even if she just did it for a week and combined the video and then put it all together, I think she would be shocked. But I don't know if she would be shocked, because you'd think seeing this 3 times a week or whatever, and editing it and filming yourself and being conscious of the fact that you're on camera and you're receiving all of this criticism, like you'd think you'd be conscious enough, or self-conscious enough to make some changes that would, ultimately better your health and better your life.
Thousands of calories, I'd say about a wee bit more than 3,000 calories. I didn't really do the math or anything, but you guys can if you want. It was just bad. But this video was requested, and it's just really sad. And I know a lot of people are gonna see this and hate on me, but it's the reality of, like, all day today I've been just starving, and I know it's because I'm eating the wrong food.
Yeah. She knows it.
I know every time after I ate the chili, like, I felt full, but for me,
That's in
fullness
roughage.
goes away rather quickly, and it sucks. It's like no matter what I eat, it can be something as stupid as a ramen or something as filling as a chili. I do get hungry fast.
I don't think it's hunger. I think it's boredom. And boredom eating is a thing. Whether or not it's related to an eating disorder or binge eating is entirely outside of my realm of opinion. I don't know. I'm not well versed enough in the science of the mental or the physical. But I can recognize boredom eating, because that was my life not long ago. Like, I'd sit here, I'd play video games, and as soon as the video game wasn't holding my attention, I would be like, I'm kind of hungry, and then I'd go and eat a 4-pack of, cheese and bacon rolls from the supermarket, and put something ridiculous on it, and just eat constantly, consume, because I was bored. And that's why a lot of conversation about mindfulness of your diet and eating is really important. They even say, oh, don't sit down in front of, like the television or something. Try to focus on the food that you're enjoying, and enjoy your food. And I can attest that it worked for me. Do I get bored still? Yes, absolutely. But during COVID, I just had to give myself things to do. Go and find new skills. Learn how to cook if you're that invested in eating. And Amber, my advice to you would be the same. I don't think the collection of journals and coloring books is stimulating her out of the boredom. And ultimately, that's why towards the end of the day, you're, just kind of fed up, and you just want to get a small amount of serotonin, dopamine, whatever, going because you don't have any achievements you can reflect on. You don't have anything you can kind of look back to and say, oh, well, you know, my legs are sore because I went skating, or, you know, gosh, that 30-minute walk in the sun was really good. I can really feel it in my back or whatever.
But I wanted to film this because today is the last day that I'm going to be eating like this, or at least I hope so. I want to bring you guys back on my weight loss journey. I don't know how much I'm going to share of it because last time, like, I was putting it all up in y'all's faces and I let down a lot of people. I'm not perfect, but
I don't know if we're let down, and it's no one's expecting anyone to be perfect. I think that's got a lot to do with like the social media lens that people put their content out under. These moments make me feel for Amber because she's not just ignoring the problem. She's quite actively conscious of the moment and saying, well, I did awful, I'll do better in the future. The issue is that this channel was all about accountability for Amber, and she never really took it. And even though literally millions of people have watched her and probably hundreds of thousands of people have tried to give her advice, not hate, but have tried to reach out and give advice, I don't know. I know there are videos of her saying, well, I don't want advice anymore. And if that's the case, then that's fine. But she asks for it so consistently that it makes you sad as an audience member, and then it makes you frustrated when the advice isn't being taken. And then ultimately it's just a cyclical, you know, we'll come back to this point in a few years' time.
Come to my weigh-in videos, those will be going up. My weigh-in video will be going up pretty soon, so keep your eye out for that. It kind of sucks, but I'm putting it up because I promised you guys, and I just feel like I need to be honest with myself. I need to be honest with you guys.
Yeah,
but anyways, I'm gonna end this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
Oh, bye, Amber. Okay, well, that was a little bit sad, to be honest, which is ultimately not what I'm here for. I think it's interesting going back and watching these videos because it's not like she's not a completely different person, and this is only a couple of years. It is challenging to see her continue to talk about, I will change in the future, things will get better, and they never really do. And ultimately that's her responsibility and her choice to not kind of actively improve her own circumstances, which I understand everybody kind of goes through that. But when we're talking about diet and the health of oneself, you're kind of, you know, the one responsible and the person who has the most impact normally. You know, outside forces aren't making her gain weight. It is her own responsibility. Anyway, that was a bit of a downer. I said earlier in the video that I've got some worrisome news. Nothing for anyone else to concern themselves about. It's just a me thing. So hopefully that'll get sorted out in the next week. But I will no doubt do another video, and fingers crossed there's some more content to come out. So thank you so much for watching if you got this far. I appreciate everybody, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.